Watching the title of the video is going to be top 5 characters in my opinion in Paragon right now. This doesn't necessarily have to do with like the top ranked players and how they play the characters, which is like in my opinion from like what I have seen like the new meta and Monolith and like what I believe to be the strongest characters right now currently in the game. And as you guys could see, we got a variety of choice. I think it's like 30 something characters now. Several coming out in literally 2 days. So take that into consideration that by the time that you see this video, it might be outdated to where Seraph comes in. And I mean, I'm not gonna account for that. Okay. Okay. So unfortunately for this gameplay, I'm still learning how to use Share Factory, so I still don't have like all the actual clips. I still don't have all the actual clips for the characters that I'm about to tell you. Oh, by the way, if you just joined in, I'm gonna talk about basically, in my opinion, who I think are the top 5 strongest characters in Paragon. So like, I mean, I feel like these characters just dominate the new meta. Um, okay, let me like jump right into the video. In my opinion, the fifth spot in this list goes to either Bellica, where is she? Bellica right here. And I'm just gonna start off with her stats. Basic attack is kind of weak, but her ability power is actually pretty strong. She also controls like lanes pretty well. She's a lane clearer. I mean, I think in this new meta, a lot of people start using more magic than anything, more mana than anything, my bad, and that it favors towards Spelica's advantage. Also, her ult is actually pretty devastating, not to mention her stunning abilities are actually pretty powerful considering how small mana truly is compared to Legacy. So that's why I would give it to Bellica right here. Swim Blast, I feel like it was overhyped at the beginning of Monolith. Like everybody was using Twin Blast. Because don't get me wrong, I don't believe that Twin Blast is a horrible character. I just don't believe he's like really high tier. But a lot of people that I played against and a lot of people that I know that play him actually put Twin Blast in their top 5 candidate. And I mean, honestly, I don't think that's such a bad thing. It's like I could see where they're coming from. His base attack is actually pretty strong. For a ranger, he's actually pretty strong. He's also got great mobility. So like his ability to being able to evade like fighters is actually pretty damn good. His jump ability helps him maneuver the map pretty well, and his ult is not that bad. I mean, it's better to be up close with his ult, but I mean it's not horrible. It's like it doesn't like it isn't anything that like I would knock on because I mean it's actually pretty damn good. Like if you manage to line your shots, you're gonna basically kill a person with your ult, like regardless of whatever percent health they have. So I mean I'll give him that much. His ability to clear lanes, I wouldn't say is the strongest, but I mean the fact that he could drop mines, it's actually pretty good. I mean that just keeps fighters off range because I mean those mines are really fast and deploy really like at really rapid speed considering like that he has like 2 second cooldown on them. So these are the tied positions at 5. I'm not really sure who I'd give the edge to. I'm guessing Bellica in this position, but I mean I still want to rank him at both at top 5. The next character that I want to rank towards is actually Greystone. Greystone actually going back to Legacy, he was actually one of the strongest characters, and obviously one of the strongest fighter, if not the strongest fighter, due to his ult. Is like that guy could keep on swinging. The only thing I don't like about Greystone is his inability to get away from the characters that are higher in the list. I also feel like another thing that disfavors Greystone is that he's way too obvious. Like his approaches are actually way too obvious, but his ability to get away in certain clutch scenarios is actually really good compared to like the upper echelon of like the people who I'm going to talk about. He's also a very good lane pusher. So like I mean you could basically push off lane by yourself with Greystone, and that really is a good thing for him. Let's see. He could basically tower dive. I see one of my buddies always tower dives into the tower just to clear it out. And with that second life and the power that he actually has, it's pretty easy. Not to mention that he's Fury in order. So I mean, he's built to take damage, and he's built to dish out damage. A very strong and durable character. The one that I feel like is not the strongest fighter out of the whole list. Like I don't feel like he's strong whatsoever out of this entire list. But I mean, I feel like he's good. I feel like compared to the rest of the cast, he's basically built to take on people one on one. And like I mean, a good Greystone could set up a really good map control. And I feel that's what Greystone really provides to the table. Where Bellica, I don't feel like I don't fear like I feel like I could be running Crunch and I wouldn't fear Bellica as much as I would fear Greystone. See what I mean? Also, TB would probably get shredded by Greystone. It's just like all these little matchups. I feel like Greystone does win against the lower tiers, and that's the only reason I would put him at fourth. At third, I actually want to put Countess, and actually Countess and Gideon in this position. Hear me out. Okay, this is actually really a really good valid point, and like I could get why you guys would say like Greystone should be ranked ahead of Countess in this ahead of Countess in this scenario, but hear me out on why I don't think that Greystone is ahead of Countess. In my opinion, the reason why Greystone and Gideon both tied for my third place is the fact that Countess, in my opinion, is the best pusher in this game. Like I don't care what you guys say. I don't care if you guys say Bellicus square and circle. Like screw that BS. It's like the fact that a circle could basically clear out a lane within like just 1 second. It's like it tells the whole story behind Countess. It's like she could push lanes, in my opinion, the quickest out of the entire cast. You could basically argue the same about Gideon. His rock could really do the same damage as what goes in my circle. It's like a Gideon and a Countess same lane. You're basically counting on that lane to go down. Because I mean that's how strong of lane pushes these bows are. Countess really delivers a lot of damage at a very fast speed. Like it's overwhelming the amount of explosive power that Countess actually does have for an assassin. Like she has more explosive power than what goes Chimera. What goes Chimera, Grux, like Crunch. Like this character is built to get in and get out really quick. And personally, since I'm main like I know that her weakness is trying to get away at points, and that she could be very squishy in a way. Like I do get that, but I mean she isn't completely squishy compared to the upper echelon of the classes. Plus the fact that she's growth and corruption means that she's built to pretty much be a gank, like a straight up in my opinion the best ganker. It's like Yukari, which I get is like her ult is basically to gank, but Countess like really like she definitely I feel like out of both Kalari and Countess I feel like Countess is by far the better assassin. Like her ult it's devastating as hell. It's like if you're not running ability armor or regular armor, you're basically screwed. Like there's no way around it. Like her ult basically cancels out I'm pretty sure every single ult but Greystone's. Like, and that's kind of freaky. Like once you think about it, and it's very hard to get away considering that she could just teleport to you and ult you. It's like that's the only reason why I'd put her ahead of Greystone, even though Greystone I feel delivers more power. Like his ability at range to deliver that much power with the rock is actually really good, and his ability to also slow you down is actually pretty damn good. Not to mention that his ult is pretty dominant, and that the speed that he gets hit at is actually pretty good. So like I mean that's like honestly you could basically flip flop Gideon and Countess, but like once you like take a good look at it, like both these characters at any point like they could be wrecking each other. Like make it like the highest class. Like I'm pretty sure I could go against my homie like Rafa, which he mains Gideon with my Countess. I'm pretty sure it would be a pretty even battle because like I mean the explosiveness that Countess has compared to like the sheer like power that Gideon has, like they both balance each other out. Plus, like I just feel like both Countess and Gideon clear the lane way better than Greystone does, and like I would say that Belica, that's the only thing that like is arguable upon that she could clear lanes faster than Countess. But I don't feel like Belica's as explosive and as powerful as Countess and or Gideon in that sense. Alright, moving on to my second place actually. My second place I actually don't necessarily know right now. I'm actually pretty tied in my second place. And that's because I feel that in this new meta, I feel like Grux is actually insanely good. I feel like he's extremely under like not underused but underlooked in like terms of like his abilities because he's pretty average across like the whole class. Like across everybody, he's pretty average. Like his abilities are kind of mediocre. His ult is actually pretty pathetic in my opinion. But I mean, it's like it's whatever. I'm not like really tripping about it. But I feel like Grux could really get put in that second place. And like honestly, these three characters counts as Gideon, Grux and Gideon. I feel like all three of them could be basically put in that like A tier. So you get that C tier no, those like low tier, mid tier, high tier, then S tier. I feel like what goes counts as Grux and Gideon. I feel like they're definitely like the S tier. Not to mention Crunch. Like a good Crunch could definitely be considered an A tier, but I would mostly put him at a B tier, considering that like I mean he's so big and he's such an open target. Like it's pretty easy like deliver those blows on him. Like I mean even though he does pack a lot of punch, like just run enough armor and you're basically like nullifying Crunch. But I feel like these three run the upper echelon of like the top tiers. So that would be like I know I named it top five strongest characters, but like I mean honestly what goes like these like three characters they could basically all trade off for the second and third position. And in my opinion, the best character in this game, I don't think there's any challenge about it. I think everybody just knows instinctually Chimera. Like I don't think there's anybody that can really argue that if a Chimera is going off, there's nothing you could do. There's zero to no chance that you could do anything. Chimera, here are the strong points about Chimera. Chimera's ambush comes back in literally like literally 2 seconds to a second sometimes, depending on your cooldown. It's insane how fast Chimera is in this game. In this new meta, his ambush is off the charts. Like there's very little characters who could get away from him. The only characters that I know that like could get away from him is probably Howitzer, Grux.
Okay.
No, not Grux. I couldn't hear that comment. Here, I'm gonna go on YouTube to check what you just said. I couldn't hear your comment. Hold on. Iggy, okay, the only reason why I argue that Iggy and Scorch is not even in the top five is because so far in Mono, nobody has really used them at that high tier level. It's like, most of the time when you see competitive matches, you never see Iggy and Scorch in there. His ability to dominate lanes is definitely a presence. He could definitely make a presence for himself, but Iggy and Scorch lanes are actually pretty, like, honestly, like, once you notice, he's actually a really slow character. His turrets could be really easily overmatched by sheer brute strength by any character. And his ult, while I do agree is very devastating, a good ranger could basically nullify an Iggy and Scorch like they're nothing. Like a good Murdoch could destroy an Iggy and Scorch like they're nothing. And like I mean that's basically the common fact of it is like an Iggy and Scorch just hasn't like done enough in this remake to prove that they're like second in that they're like worthy at the top five score. But back again. So sorry, my bad. I just got a comment about it. Um, Chimera. The reasons why I think Chimera is very impossible to get away from. You get Hauser, one of the only characters that I know that could get away from Kalari's invisibility is arguably the only other thing that I know that could get away from him. Rampage can get away from him. Steel can't get away from him. Is like Muriel sometimes gets away from him. Is like his ambush just comes out so goddamn quick and he delivers so much power like honestly, like I went 21 and 0 with my Chimera recently, and like I wasn't even breaking a sweat. Like it was just super easy for me to dominate the field with Chimera. And like it isn't like that was the only good performance that I had with Chimera. By this point, I had multiple dominant performances with him. He deliver his score is actually really devastating, considering that if you're not running any armor, you're basically gonna destroy a person's like down to like less than 1/4 of their health with just your square. And like honestly, it's very devastating. Murdoch can no longer get away from him. That like he used to be able to get away from him, which is why Murdoch used to be such a high tier. But now Murdoch can't get away from Chimera because of his ambush, and he's just super devastating. A good map presence with Chimera is also it's also very scary because honestly, in my opinion, Chimera is not the best jungler. I feel that Sevrog has that position one like tenfold, but a good Chimera could pretty much demolish the entire cast like they're nothing. Like a good Chimera could pretty much like take on Greystone without like really fearing it as long as they have armor. And like because they hit with such like force and his mobility was also pretty damn good. Like if you go look at his base stats, his mobility, while it may be a four, like he's actually pretty damn quick. Like just being able to move around his opponents. He's also a ganker, so that means that like he could basically get in and out, and like you can't do anything about it. Also, out of all the gankers, he's the only one that could still hang in there. And plus his region, like while it isn't as noticeable nowadays, like his region, like it does help at points. Like you could really like dominate an opponent by just using your region well. Because like now it takes 4 hits to get you up to like 20 plus region, and like that's actually pretty damn scary. Like once you think about it, 4 hits, 4 to 5 hits, that's basically your entire square. If you land your square on an opponent, they're basically dead, and there's nothing they can do about it. Like if they try to get away, your ambush is basically there. Gideon, his ult, as long as you have your ult, just ambush, and then then at the first frame of the next move, use your ult on Gideon while he's up in the air and doing his own ult, and it just like completely cancels him out. Gideon can't get away by that point. It's just super stupid how broken Chimera is in this new meta. While like people are adapting to Chimera, I feel like Chimera is still by far like the only S tier that I feel like you're always gonna see in the lobby. It's like it's rare when you don't see a Chimera in the lobby because that's how dominant Chimera truly is. But I mean, that's really been my opinion on on the strongest characters so far in this game. Obviously, I'm gonna get back to the series and I'm gonna talk about what the worst characters in this new meta are, possibly here in the next video. But for now, I hope that you guys enjoyed my uninformative yet informative conversation about like the top tiers and like the top echelons. And in the next video, we're gonna be talking about the top 5 surprisingly strong characters that don't get used as much. Yes, Iggy Scorch is gonna be in there, Jason. But with that all said in mind, I hope that you guys are having a great day. And as always, if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.